Hey guys, I'm going to show you some of the baits I use to catch these fish in the wintertime up here at the lake. I'm getting down to 4-inch worms. You know, I like a little zoom worm like this. This is made by Bass Pro Shop. And you notice that the tails are really bright chartreuse. That's because the water's coming up 6 inches a day, and it's kind of dirty. So this color's working. If that's not that color, I like using the 5150s, and this is their camel color. But I do stain the tail with some chartreuse, and this is just called the Papa Punisher. This is a good one too. Orange on the bottom and a little purple on the top. These are my 4 picks that I like using up here at Bartlett Lake. So let's just kind of move along the shoreline, and I'll just talk a little bit while I fish. I pick out these nice rocky banks like this because this kind of a bank warms up before other banks, you know, because of the way it faces. The sun's shining right on it. It warms up the rocks. The temperature of the water is right now is about 56, 57 degrees. It'll warm up a degree in the afternoon or two, but we've been having a lot of storms lately, and it does take a while for those fish to come up. So I know that those fish are in about 10 feet of water right now and deeper. So I'm not making any casts right on the bank. I'm looking at the shoreline, which is probably about a 80, 90 degree angle. So I know that 10 feet off of that bank up there, I know that that's going to be 10, 12 feet deep, and that's where most of the fish I catch in the wintertime. I do catch them down a lot deeper than that. I mean, I'll go down to 30 feet if I see fish on the graph. But lately I've been seeing them in 12, 13, 14, 16 feet. I mean, I'm seeing some fish right now down about 13, 14 feet. So if you just follow these simple rules and just move along the shoreline, fish these rocks, these larger rocks here, you too can catch some of these, you know. Just stick with the smaller stuff. I'm only using a light little sinker, a 1/0 hook. I'm using a 3/16 ounce tungsten. So I do catch a number of fish, you know, with my clients that I take out fishing and stuff, but just pick out these rocky banks. Deep rocky banks is what I like during the winter time. So we're just gonna go along here and just see if we can pluck out a fish or two. We'll make this a short video. I'm fishing Johnny Morris's Platinum Series, Signature Series rod, and it's light. I'm telling you, if you ever get to the Bass Pro Shop, go down and pick this red one up. It's really light. I like light rods so that I can feel this very, very subtle bite that's here. This is a 6.9, just happens to be a 6.9. Oop, there was a bite, missed him. Sometimes that's the only drawback is in the dirty water, they will bite that tail. The smaller ones will, you know. Lately it's been bigger fish, but there are some small ones and they bite the tail. They don't get the worm. So you'll get bites, and when you set the hook, you'll miss them like that. Like I just did it right there, you know. I can tell you this, folks, this lake still gets a lot of pressure, all right? By pressure, I mean not air pressure. I mean people fishing. The lake's not that big. There's a lot of people that are here on the weekends and during the week. When you get a bite and you feel that tap, set the hook. That quick, because the next time you feel something, it's him spitting your worm out. So many of the people that I take fishing just can't get that idea of when they tap your line, set the hook. It has to be that quick, and you don't have to reel down and pull it back real hard. It's just that little snap. That's all you have to do. So we'll see if we can get one to bite along here. It's a real slow process in the wintertime. There's not a lot of fish that bite, you know. You do get a few bites, but most of the time you better capitalize on the ones you get. It's a beautiful afternoon out here today, sun shining. We just had a huge major rainstorm here for the last couple, 2 or 3 days. So we got a full moon, so I picked out a good day to come filming with Greg, so makes it a little bit tougher to come out and do this. So once I get that about halfway back to the boat, I'll go ahead and I'll just throw this right back out there. You know, I'll pitch it out there maybe 6-8 feet from the bank and just keep working down this shoreline. This has a nice shoreline with a lot of rocks here, and that's what you need. You need some of this. Just barely move that thing. You know, every once in a while I'll take up the slack and I'll just barely shake it like this, and then I'll hold it still, okay? And then that way, if once you're holding it still, if you feel anything, set the hook. That's your fish. You're not going to get a big tug, all right? One of the things that I do is I use very light weights. People always are saying, how can you feel the rocks or feel the bottom? I don't have to feel the rocks or the bottom. What I feel is I feel the fish bite. So I'm just working that along these rocks like this. You know, that fish gets, if that pole gets heavy, oops, nope, I thought I had another one, but I don't. So anyway, felt like a bite, but sometimes it just gets heavy and the fish just are hanging on to it and they're swimming. Let's just see if we can get one here, because we're going to get out of here real quick. We'll make a couple more casts before this rock ends. Just bumping along the bottom, just shake it a little bit and just hold it still. A lot of times after you shake it a little bit, it gets their interest and they'll come up and they'll just suck that in, or they'll just go tick. If I feel that, I'm going to set the hook hard if I feel that little tick. Otherwise, watch your line, because sometimes they bite and the line just swims off. All right. I don't give them much chance. I go on that 90% rule I have, that when I make a cast, 90% of the time, if they see it, they bite it. A bass can see 5 times greater than us. So if it's 1 foot, I can only see it down 1 foot, he can see 5. So just remember that. Slow, easy. I pulled out just a little bit more because there's fish on the graph here. So I pulled out to 21 feet. So I'm just going to cast 10 feet from the bank. Let that sink. So, man, there's a bunch of fish. I'm going to drop that back down. There's about 3 or 4 fish in 21 feet of water. I'm going to let that sink, sink, sink. I fish the graph a lot, you guys. As you watch my videos, you're going to see that if I see a fish on the graph, I probably have a 40 to 50% chance of catching that. There's 3 fish down there, so I'm going to let it sink to the bottom. Look at that, it's heavy. There he is. Just got to the bottom, it just sank 21 feet. Come on. Boy, I don't like to reel them up real fast because they get the bends and then they don't go back down. And they're lethargic, they're cold right now, folks. He's not a giant, but look how white he is. You can tell he's been staying down deep. He's ice cold. Oh my gosh. You know, one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to drop them on the carpet if I can help it. I know I do it once in a while, but if that thing lands on the carpet, it's going to get some road rash on there. And man, I'll tell you, when I get the game and fish in the boat, their biologists are saying, man, that fish stands a chance of dying with that slime coat coming off. All right, once I catch one off the graph, there was only 3 or 4, so all you got to do is just go along and you could probably pluck out a couple more. Let me find another one here. All right, probably 17, 18 feet of water, so I'm just going to throw that out, let it sink. I don't have to go too far. A lot of fish, they're not on the bank, they're out deep, 16, 18 feet. I'm not fishing real deep. Let's just let that go down. Bump that in front of them. Okay, there's a couple fish right there. work that right in front of him. See if we can get him.
Hope you got that.
Come on.
That's beautiful.
When I get in front of them, folks, and I drop it down there, I like to just kind of jiggle it a little bit. Just kind of, you know, tap it like this. Then I let it hit the bottom. Then I just kind of tap it. I think that tungsten weight might hit the rocks and make a little bit of noise. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of them right there. Let me see if I can get one of these. There's a whole school of them now. Should have a spoon on, huh? That's another thing I should have on when I fish like this in the wintertime. Just keep that with a Texas rig drop shot. I haven't been drop shotting much, but I need to do I get asked about it all the time. All right, let me put the skids on. There they are. Okay. Let's just bounce that through. Ooh, there he is. Oh my gosh. But it feels like you're stuck when you get a good one on. Come on. Man, he's down there, 23 feet. Oh, he's a nice one. Coming up, Greg. See him? Oh, he's trying to jump. What a pretty picture when they come up like that, I'll tell you. They are beautiful, beautiful. Hate doing that, but wow. Look what's hanging out his mouth. Isn't that a pretty picture? Nice fish. 23 feet deep. Bump it on the bottom. You too can catch these fish. Just go out and practice, you know. And I never keep a big fish. I might keep a little one once in a while, but Texas rigging, that's all I'm doing. 1/0 hook, a 4-inch worm, chartreuse on the tail, 3/16 ounce tungsten. You too can catch fish like that, just like that. Once again, folks, Greg and I thank you very much for watching our videos, and please subscribe to those when you see them. And with this, till the next adventure out here with a different subject or a different technique. Thanks again.